Hello YouTube, welcome to another episode of Plays for Days. Today I'm doing the intro because Braden will be showing you a very special deck.
Yeah, this is my deck profile on my Evilswarms.
Yeah, that he actually got second place in the regional.
So, we got our whole setup here. Fuck this shit. Ba-boom, baby.
There it is.
Second place regional qualifier. Check that out.
Yeah, right
beautiful.
there.
So let me show you the deck that got me second place at our regionals here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, in case anybody was wondering. This is a deck that I got second place with, amazingly
Almost
enough.
first.
Almost first, but them dragons were just a little bit too fast, too furious for me. So,
Everyone played dragons.
Yeah. I played 3 dragon decks, at least.
Yeah, I myself played like 3 or 4, so...
Yeah, so there's a couple of little different things in here, a couple things I do differently next time, but... yeah, I played the deck and it worked fantastically for me. So, yeah, we'll just get into the profile. Gonna be some obvious stuff in here, so, yeah. Opening up, triple Castor. He's a playmaker, obviously. Very important card. Kind of self-explanatory. And then, triple Heliotrope, because there aren't a ton of Evilswarms to choose from. A ton of good ones, and he's your vanilla. I still play 1 rabbit. Don't think you can't play the deck, because there's only 1 rabbit.
That vanilla is still solid, 1950.
Yeah, and one of the big playmakers of the deck, obviously, is your triple Cerceon, Kirkion, whatever you like to call him. Very good card, still sets up huge plays. Actually, one of my favorite plays I did against Mermails was with the Kirkion. I had an Ophion on the field, so he couldn't do too much. He went into his Zen mains. Castor, Cerceon fetched something out. Went into the Black Ship of Corn, sent that Zen mains packing and attacked for 4,000.
Didn't you play a Mermails deck in one of the top 8 games?
Yep, that was my second... No, that was my last game for second place.
Yeah, so yeah, you wasted him.
Yep, just tore that Zen mains apart. And then, obviously, the Mandragora. I actually did a sweet play against somebody. He was playing the... he was playing a Chaos Dragons deck with the Lightsworn type build and stuff like that. He ended up dropping Gores on one of my attacks, main phase 2. Throw that down, go into Ophion. He went to attack it, Forbidden Dress out of nowhere. What
Nothing,
can you do?
Yeah.
So, beautiful plays on that. And then triple Thunderbird, just because he is one beautiful mofo. So many plays where it's just like you throw it out and it's like deep prison. No, getting out of here.
Yeah, a lot more people are playing back rows, so
Yeah.
you can just get away.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed too a lot was you don't always go straight into Ophion with this deck. A lot of times you whip out stuff, because you have that Thunderbird that can just dodge stuff. You go for the damage, main phase 2, go Ophion, so even if they have a reason to stop it, at least you got the damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then obviously the 1 rabbit, because I still play the Heliotropes, and it's an Ophion. Assuming they don't stop it, it's a free Ophion. The 1 dad, just because there's a lot of grave control with the Kirkians, and yeah, I actually used a safe zone to protect him once. He went into Scrap Dragon. Oh, I'm just going to pop it, breakthrough skill. 28 for 28, next turn I just popped it, game.
And it's so easy if you have him even first turn. You can just go, like you said, Rabbit or Castor or something else. Overall, if they kill your Ophion somehow, you're going to have 3 darks.
Boom.
And just drop them.
Yeah. I run the 2 Veilers in there, just because Veiler is a very important card for this deck. There are so many cards that pop it, so Veiler, very vital card.
Just like Bear.
Yeah.
Firefist Bear.
So that was the monster count. I think it was 19, if I'm not mistaken. Onto the spells, we play the Dark Hole, because it's the only one of the Trinity left in the deck, and if you're using the Infestation, it's a Raigeki, basically.
Yeah, and you can push for game, too.
Very good card. 2 Forbidden Dress. It's one of the older cards for the deck, but it makes the most sense, just because if they got Blaster or something, you just... No, not destroyed.
Anything.
It's a nice way to just make sure your Ophion doesn't get destroyed, that's not safe zone. Plus, like I said, if they're attacking into you with Gores or something, just decrease that attack. Very nice little surprise card. Triple Infestation Pandemic, because you have to run 3. If you're running the deck, you don't run 3, you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, very important card.
Double MSTs, just because the back row can get scary. You don't want them to Solemn Warning your Ophion. You don't want them to shut you down. So the MSTs are very important. We have the 1 Reinforcement of the Army, because Castor is a warrior. It sets up your plays. You grab the Castor to your hand, you normal summon, do another normal summon, go into Ophion, or just attack.
He's just vital for that first turn Ophion. So
yeah, you wouldn't think Reinforcement would be for this deck, but that Castor is a vital card to make the deck work. And how many was that for spells? I think that was 9, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 9. Okay, and on to the traps. This is probably the area where the deck got hit the most, just because compulses are gone, torrential's down to 1, stuff like that. So it's where the deck got hit the most, if anywhere, besides Rabbit, obviously. So only 1 bottomless, because that's all you're allowed to have. 2 breakthroughs, because again, those effects are just scary. The 1 compulse, because you're not allowed to have more than 1. And triple Fiendish Chain. Fiendish Chain is a godsend in this deck. You just get those little monsters, you just throw them down, they get stuck in attack position, you just poke them with your guys. It's just a great card altogether. Like, sometimes Veiler is just, well, I still want to attack. Chain just shuts that down. One thing I actually threw back in the deck was this Infestation Infection, just because it's a great card. You drop a guy, they go bottomless, just throw it back in the deck, do another search. And one of my actual side deck cards works quite well with this as well. So, while it's not the best card, it is great just for baiting stuff out. 2 safe zones, lifesaver card. Lifesaver. So many times when you get blown up, whatever, just boom. And then if you make your Ophion, you safe zone it during their standby phase. It's really hard to get rid of Ophion with that. Plus with the pandemic, even if they pop your safe zone, you're still safe.
Not to mention you can even go into that Key Beetle anytime.
Yeah.
Which is nasty too.
Yeah, you go into that Key Beetle, you safe zone, and it's basically a 25 that doesn't go away.
Yeah, well, really hard to get off the board.
Yeah, so safe zone is a very, very good card for this deck. 1 Solemn Warning, because negating effects is, or negating summons, sorry, is very important. And sometimes there's stuff you just don't want on the field, but you can't necessarily break through, you can't necessarily do whatever. One of the actual, it was a hilarious matchup. I was playing Spellbooks, and this card, he opened up, he went Secrets, searched out Magician, summons Magician, breakthrough skill. Okay, his next turn, Secrets, fetch a Magician, play the Magician, effect Veiler. Okay, next turn, Secrets, search out Wisdom, play Magician, Solemn Warning. And after that, he just scooped because he had nothing. But it was just so funny because he grabbed that Wisdom and he was like, okay, I'm safe from any spells or traps. And warning.
Yeah.
And then the 1 Torrential, because that's all you're allowed to run otherwise.
And just like the Dark Hole thing, you have that Infestation, so...
Yeah, it's like a trap version of Raigeki. It's so good in this deck. It shuts down people from... when they overextend too much, you just wipe their field, so... Torrential's always fantastic.
Those bad players up.
Yeah, and so this should have been 11 or 12 traps, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, yeah. So that's the main deck.
How many is that? 40, 41?
It's 40. I played at 40 for the regionals just because even that extra one could be a little bit inconsistent. You want that 40 just straight up.
Yeah, get your cards faster.
Yeah. And so for the extra deck, it's pretty standard. There's a couple of choices in there I made because Merle told me to make sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Obviously, play the 1 Cowboy. Cowboy's fantastic. They got 800 left. I almost used Cowboy to finish my third to last match, I think it was.
Yeah.
But he had skill drain, so it was just, he had 50 life points left.
Couldn't do it.
50 life points, and I couldn't Cowboy because of skill drain. Abyss Dweller, just because effects in the grave are way too important in this format.
Mermails.
Mermails and even dragons. They can't activate them. Like Daigusto Emerald, it's a nice recycler if you want to be able to use your rabbit, send your heliotropes back, plus getting that draw off. Could be a lifesaver. The Lavalval Chain, it's a nice little card if you got your Dark Arm Dragon, but you don't have enough darks in the grave yet.
Yeah.
Diamond Dire just pops stuff you really don't want around. And I almost took out Black Ship of Corn, but Merle's like, you know what? No, Zenmaines is a card. Just keep it in there. Trust me. Going up against Mermails for the final round, like I said, Black Ship of Corn, that was game.
Yeah, so, that Zenmaines.
Otherwise, I was going to go into Paffy. Paffy is so good in this deck. You got your Ophion and stuff. They got to play defensively. You're just like, no, come at me, bro. Only the 1 Bahamut, just because you don't go into it super often, but when you do, it's a dream crusher.
And you're usually pushing for game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 of the Master Key Beetle, just because, like you said, that safe sound lockdown is just too good. And then only 1 Ophion. Just kidding, you played 3.
That's the part where they're about to quit. They're like, okay, what kind of regionals is that?
No, you have to play the 3 Ophion just because if he gets shut down once, twice. Dragons would scoop so much because I would get this field set up. They'd be, oh, well, skill drain. Ophion's effect doesn't apply. Infestation Pandemic during the standby phase. I made a guy take like a 20-minute turn because he had to think, how can I get around this Ophion? And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it and he had to scoop. The one Ouroboros, just because against those certain decks, banishing from the grave, but killing from the hand, just sending a card back from the field to the hand is just too good. And there's a lot of opportunities where you get 3 monsters on the field, so it's not that outrageous. Plus that 2750, it's enough to get over the Master Blades, it's enough to get over their Gemnite Pearl.
Big Eye, Draco Sack.
The attack power is just really nice. And then the Crazy Box, just because it's a nice little target for your EEV. And it's a nice little wall too.
Yeah, just a big wall.
If your opponent's playing something that's high attack and you're just like, ugh, I can't get over it with that 2750, or you don't have 3 monsters, you just need that extra attack boost. Boom. Plus, when your opponent's playing skill drain, you get a 3000 beater.
I don't think I'd have the balls to risk his effect.
No.
There'd be no point.
No, but
it's just there.
But like I said, a lot of people cite in the skill drain against this deck, so you whip out a 3000.
Why not?
Yeah. And then my extra deck guard. Yeah.
Lucia.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I had trouble deciding with for this deck was the side deck, just because I didn't know exactly what I was going to play. This format's been kind of up in the air. But I knew I was probably going to be playing Black Wings, Dragons, Mermails, that type of stuff.
Prophecies, all that, yeah.
I did try to base it around that, but I definitely would change it for upcoming matches, upcoming events, stuff like that. This was just what I thought fit the best. I had my 3rd Veiler in there, just because shutting down defects is too good. A couple Max C, just because drawing against Dragons, stuff like that, but I never cited in the Max C. It's hard to find room for it. You don't want to cut down your monsters, you don't want to cut down your Speller Traps, and aside from drawing into your Veiler, the Max C is not going to do you much good. So I would probably take those out for something else. Maybe some more debunk, stuff like that, but yeah. The 3rd MST, just because, like I said, the skill drain, the Shadow Imprisonings, deadly stuff. XC's Encore, just for the mirror match, get rid of that Ophion, get rid of the Draco Sex, stuff like that. Just get rid of him. Master Blades, because he's tough to get rid of. It's too good. I would love to probably play a second one, but got to track one down. And my favorite tech that I didn't get to exploit as much as I would have liked, compulsory escape device. I know a lot of people are going to be looking at it, it's like, huh? Why would you want to send your guys back? If you play Pandemic, you don't have to send anything back. They're unaffected. If you got the Thunderbird on the field, you banish, it resolves, they have to send one back. If you play that trap card, it resolves, you send your guy back, search your deck for a card, they still have to send one back. It is a really nice card when you get in those situations. They have to send their monster back. They get to choose, but if they only have the one monster,
yep,
the choice is made for them. I really liked it. I thought it was a really fun tech, and I actually got to use it against Dark World, sent the Grapha back, and they were just lost without it.
Yeah.
The debunk, I really want a 2nd or possibly 3rd because this card is amazing this format. Use it against the dragons, they activate their effect in the grave, you banish it, and they don't get their search.
No.
It's just gone.
And then those dragon effects are done too, so.
Yeah, it's good against the Dark Worlds. If they go the Grapha, pop something on the field, just get that Grapha out of there. I use it against Dark World pretty well. I banish this stuff too. Really great card. It works on so many different levels. I think it even stops Collude Effect. Oh wait, no, that doesn't act. No, never mind. It would stop the Bujin type stuff though. The one that stops the targeting and the popping one though.
Yeah, from the grave.
So it is really good, this format.
And it stops obviously Megalos.
Yeah.
So, and all that.
The EEV, they had to hit that, but it is too good. You, if they're about to kill your Ophion for whatever reason, if they're about to do whatever, pop your Crazy Box, say spells or traps, and
it's pretty much a good game against prophecies.
Yeah. You say spells against prophecies, and it's just your deck's too fast for them to recover.
Well,
they can settle their one.
I mean, for 3 turns, they're going to discard their card.
Yeah, and there's certain other decks, like Black Wings, they like to play their back row and stuff like that. You just call traps, and you even get to see their hand, so you know if there's Kalutes in there and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing card. For the Dragons, we got a couple goes in match. There's a couple other decks that it works really good against, but the Dragons especially because they got all the elements going on there, so I got to use this quite well against a few Dragon decks. They just make their plays, they set up their field, and it's just like, you only get one. And then, they're stuck with the 1 and they got to either attack with it or whatever.
Yeah.
So, Goals and Match is really good against dragons. Not against a whole lot of anything else that I can think of right now.
But the dragons were huge. So.
Yeah, but dragons are huge, so. Mind Drains, just because Boojins are a thing, Blackwings are a thing, and dragons, they don't pop you with Blaster from the hand, so.
That works for Mermals too, right? The Megalos, TS.
Yeah.
Effect. I don't even know.
Yeah. So, Mind Drain is a really good card this format as well. I only played the 2 just because I was running out of room, and I don't like to side in too many of something. It's just nice to have there. So. And then, obviously, the 1 Soul Drain. I wish I could run more. It's so good, this format, but they only let you have 1.
Stops dragons, anything.
Stops dragons, it stops the mermails, it stops Boojins, it stops so many different
Fire
things.
Kings, Grunics, anything.
It shuts down dragons so hard because they don't get their searches from their dragons anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Really good.
Yeah, that's the main side deck. Like I said, I'd make a few different choices in here. Obviously, drop the Maxis for something.
I mean, I bet you would have thrown in Vanity's Emptiness too. If you
yeah, I would have had some Imperial Iron Wall, some Vanity's Emptiness, but I currently don't own any, so there'd be a couple of different changes for stuff like that. Obviously, I might bump down the compulsory down to 2 because I would never run 3 in the main deck. In the Maxis, obviously, but yeah.
The tournament was actually pretty big. I mean, there was like over 100. There was like around 167 that were in it, and there was like 30, 40 more that couldn't get in. It was like a 200 people tournament. The other ones that couldn't get in had like little mini tournaments for mats.
Yeah.
But it was huge.
It was
regionals. It was here around here. It was pretty big.
It was definitely quite the experience for my first regionals, and the matchups I did go against, I think first round was the Dark Worlds, and I was a bit jittery because it was my first regional match, so I did make a couple of misplays and whatnot, and I ended up 2-0 in that round. Second matchup was 6 Sams, and they just couldn't do any synchros or anything with Ophion on the field. Any answers he had to destroy it was just Pandemic, so ran through that. What was my third matchup? Third matchup was actually Dragons, and it was one of my harder matchups, but the skill drain, Pandemic, ran over it. Fourth matchup, I think, was Dragons again. No. Fourth matchup was Spellbooks, and then obviously all the negations, you couldn't do anything. Fifth matchup was the Dragons again. Sixth matchup was the Lightsworn Chaos Dragons, and then again just protecting that Ophion. He couldn't do any of his banishing type plays, so he had to scoop. Seventh matchup was Dragons again, the only match I lost of the day. He just sacked me too hard. He went to his plant plays and ended up, I had the Gozen match face down, and I think I had Torrential or something face down, but he had MST and then Blaster, so I just ate it on that one. Yeah, so that would have been the deciding one. Had I been able to get that Gozen match off, I would have been able to make the plays, but he just got off his plays too fast. He OTK'd me.
But he was one of the more top guys up there. I mean, he's really experienced.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he was the one who got first.
Yeah.
The only person I lost to was first place. So.
Yeah, and you're the one who gave him the 1 round loss too.
Yeah. So he was a really good player. I'm not salty at all about losing to him. He put up a great match. And then the last match I played was Mermails, and again, that was just that Ophion effect. He couldn't special summon. Zen mains, pop with ship, attack for game.
Yeah.
It was definitely a very good day, and yeah.
What do you think your hardest matchup was? Was it that Dragons one, obviously? Or?
It was definitely that Dragon ones. The Dragon ones give me the roughest time just because I have to get that Ophion out first.
The Dragons are so powerful.
Yeah. Plus, it's got that Blaster, so it's really hard to stop that unless you have the dress. You have to top deck exactly what you need against Dragons. Otherwise, you're just going to eat it.
What would you say your easiest one was?
Easiest one was, unfortunately, the Spellbooks, just because I had so many monster effect negations. And if that Magician doesn't go off, it's really not good. And one of their only other answers is the Fate, and with Pandemic, it really doesn't touch you.
Yeah.
So Spellbooks, I think, had one of the worst matchups against me. I didn't run into any Blackwings, though, which is weird.
That's intense.
So. No, but I am definitely very happy about that second place. Definitely very happy to get my first national invite. Yeah, and you saw it at the beginning, but yeah, there's my deck box. Beautiful little thing.
Yeah, like right down there. Looks really nice. Yeah. Green too. So
yeah, green.
I think the other one was blue or something, but that one's really nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely very impressive. I think I've topped the best out of anybody in Lethbridge so far.
Yeah.
So definitely quite an honor to do that well. I never thought I would do this. While I went in there, I'm like, I'm going to get like 4-4 or whatever. It's just like, I got up to that 6-0 and it's just like, dude, you can do it. You can freaking do it. And then unfortunately I lost to Dragons, but I made it up in the end. So
Yeah.
7-1, fantastic. Like,
Definitely.
Evilswarm's definitely a threat this format still.
Definitely.
I guarantee it. You side correctly, like I would change the side, and it is a deadly deck still. Don't give up on Evilswarms just because they're not dragons.
There was like so many dragons. All of us played like half our games dragons.
Yeah, like I played 3 dragons.
Yeah,
You played
three,
like
four.
3 or 4 dragons.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely very interesting. Very good day. Aside from the fact that we didn't sleep all night and we had to leave at 6:30 in the morning.
And my big guy got stolen. Oh my fucking god! I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Then you thought you lost all your cards at that
I left
pizza
in a
shop.
pizza joint right next door. I almost had a stroke. Oh Christ! All right.
Crazy day, but yeah, I just got to say thanks to everybody from the Lethbridge locals. Going out to Matt Gostick, Jaden Costas, obviously you, Morel, Joe. Who else helped me out with this deck?
I think that was it. All of us.
Joe, Matt, Jaden, Costas, you, everybody, just fantastic people. Great. They supported me all the way when I was like, oh man, I'm not going to do that. No, go man, go, you could do it.
Yeah, just kept doing what you were doing. And
yeah, big shout out to them because without them I wouldn't have gotten here, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was awesome. I can't believe that. Second place.
Yeah.
First regional.
Yeah, first regional, second place, and with a deck that nobody really saw coming, so.
But you made that really great call with the Evilswarms.
Yeah. Yeah, I was almost going to play the agent type deck with a perfection, but I'm like, you know what? Evilswarms, man.
That was a good call.
Good call, and obviously it paid off.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's a deck profile on them. If you guys want to check it out, give me any suggestions about what I can bring to nationals when it comes around next year. Things could change, but you know, I'm always open to suggestions.
Definitely.
Yeah. And yeah, let me know what you played. Maybe you were there and I just didn't see you, didn't talk to you.
Yeah, tell us what you ran too. If you had any regionals in your area or what you're gonna use, what you think is a good call for this meta.
Yeah.
Really, Evilswarms did great.
Yeah.
So, but then again, you were always really good with the Evilswarms. So.
Yeah, it's like I had psychic powers that day. It's just like, oh. I ended up going up against one guy. Did the Castor play? Yeah, I was against the Chaos Drags. I went to the Castor, summoned out Thunderbird, attacked the defense with the Castor. Turned out being Raikou.
Oh.
Had I gone Ophion, I would have gotten sacked.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know what it was. I just had like those psychic powers. It's just
one of those days, one of those moments where everything was just on the dot.
Everything was just going right for me. I was getting the right draws, making the Ophion at the right time. It's just, yeah.
And you got the mat, the box,
the deck box,
and the invite.
So
perfect. Second place. Well, yeah, there you go. Second place, regionals, Calgary, Braden. And
thanks for watching.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll catch you guys later.
Peace.